It is time to overwinter our caterpillar chrysalis. There's 3 of them in this jar. There's one that attached itself to a jar, so I'm going to have to carefully remove that. If we don't do this process, then they will emerge during the winter, and I won't be able to send them off outside, right? We want to overwinter them so they can emerge in the springtime. I've seen people do this all different sorts of ways, but I found this really cool lady who I don't know if I'd call her a professional, but she's done this for years. She has a little book that she keeps record of all of the butterflies she's taking care of. She does it kind of differently than I've seen anyone do it, but she says she's had a 100% success rate doing this. Totally makes sense. And so I'm going to try it. Here's what you'll need. All right, so you'll need some kind of netting, like a butterfly net. This is actually a mesh laundry bag, and I'm just going to cover the top. Much cheaper than a butterfly enclosure. So there's a pro tip for you, or amateur tip. Scissors, something to write with, safety pins, paper towels, stapler, a toilet paper tube, and your chrysalises. First thing I'm going to do is get the toilet paper tube ready. This is what they're going to kind of be attached to. I folded it in half. I'm gonna cut it in half. And then I'm going to cut it open. So I will end up having 4 little pieces. And of course, if you don't have a toilet paper roll tube, you could just get some little cardboard. But I'll end up with 4 pieces like this, and I have 3 chrysalis, so it's perfect. Now I'm taking a paper towel that I folded, and I'm going to attach it to the toilet paper cardboard, and I'm going to staple it, okay? And it's going to create like a little pocket. You can see that. So let's use our stapler to attach it. And that's what it looks like after I finish. I also put a staple in the bottom, so I had to fold it over like that. And now there'll be like a little pocket. See? It's a little caterpillar bed. I know this looks weird at the moment, and you probably think I'm crazy. Just stick with me, okay? There's a process. Now it's time to carefully remove each chrysalis from my jar. I'm going to put them in a different container if I ever have to do this next time. If you're wondering why I didn't put them outside, I had harvested a bunch of parsley, and I didn't know these little guys or girls were on there. And I went to go put them outside, but then I realized I didn't really have a safe place, and I'd already harvested most of their parsley, and a friend of mine was like, all of mine that I put outside ended up dying. And so I just thought my heart couldn't take it. I went back and got them, and I thought this would be a great science project for the kids because we also homeschool. So I brought them inside, okay? So no one give me crap. Anyway, this is the first one that turned into a chrysalis, and I've been keeping track of the days that this happened because I'm going to want to write the date that they not cocooned. Okay, so caterpillars that turn into butterflies, they don't cocoon. And I know that storybook, The Hungry Caterpillar, has taught us all wrong. Butterflies make a chrysalis, and I have a really cool book I'll show you. Moths make a cocoon. So the first one that turned into a chrysalis, I'm going to use first, and we're going to write down the date on this little thing. So I need to try and get this out carefully. And I don't know if you can tell from here, but they create a little sling. There's actually like a little 2 strands of that silk that's attaching it and helping it suspend from the glass. And then at the bottom, it creates silk too. So I need to grab something to help me carefully snip those because I don't want to harm it. Okay, I got the first one, and I will say those little sling strands are super strong. So just you carefully use a little pair of scissors and cut them off. And then to get the bottom part off, I had to wet my finger. I moistened my finger and just kind of scraped it off carefully, and that helped. But you know, this is only if like they attach themselves to something that, like that's other than a stick. And then on one of these little chrysalis pillows, I wrote the date that it finished its chrysalis. Okay, so it was the 13th on the 11th. So 10, 11, 23, I wrote the date, and now I'm going to put it inside. And see, now I'm putting it inside. The part that was slinged is the top part of it, so I want to keep it upright like that. And it'll just kind of be sticking out. Now we're going to leave it like this. Let's do the other 2. Now I got all 3 of them done and dated. So let me show you how we're going to attach these into the enclosure. I attached the safety pin very carefully to the top of the cardboard. Now I'm going to attach this to one of the side walls of my netting enclosure. All right, we got all 3 of them in there. My husband had to help me because my fingernails were not helping me with this whatsoever. Since I did not use a butterfly enclosure and I used a hamper, I do not have a top on it. So let's go ahead and attach a top and I'll show you the next step. So I checked the temperature in my garage because that was like the first place that I wanted to keep them. But our garage is kind of insulated and it's over 10 degrees difference between the outside and my garage. So that is too warm and I don't think they'll overwinter properly. If it was just a couple degrees higher, cool, but no. So I'm going to put them under our front porch. I have a potted plant and a shepherd's hook. And it doesn't really like big storms unless like we get something so crazy. This will still keep them out of the rain, but they should get the appropriate temperature and humidity and all that. So I'll just keep an eye on them and they'll be out here. I don't know if I said this, but I'm pretty sure these are black swallowtail caterpillars. Good night, sweeties. Here's to seeing you in the spring.